Hi, did you know that while the rest of the world is in 2024, there is a country in this world that is still in 2016? Ethiopia is a country in East Africa, and Ethiopia has 13-month calendar. 12 of these months have 30 days each. 30 days each. And the last month has 5 days or even 6 days in a leap year. The implication is simply that while the rest of the world is rushing off to start a new year, Ethiopia is still taking their time to finish an old year. Now, as much as I like to think that man is a strange being, I also like to think that he is a very intelligent and sophisticated being. All of that which I described was designed by a man. How intelligent that can be. How would a man think of having a 13-month calendar and the very last month of this 13-month calendar has 5 days? 5 days are described as the forgotten days in the Greek calendar. Man is a very intelligent being, and I'd like to convince you that you are also an intelligent being. Now, have you ever considered a dead body? Have you ever looked at a dead body? What could have gone wrong that while this one with all the parts intact is described to be dead, while you who is looking at it is living? What is actually wrong there? Now, technically, you could say that, oh, it's because his heart stopped beating. But I like to think that there is something much deeper than that. Because the heart is also present in the dead body, and the heart is also present in the living body. So what was it that was responsible for making that heart beat? Some like to call it pneuma, some like to call it life, some like to call it spirit. But have you ever thought about the principles, personalities, and the patterns of this spirit, this very life? What does it like to do? What does it like to think? What does it like to act on? So for one person, while it may make you think in a certain way, it makes another person think in a totally different way. Now, the implication of all of these that I've said is there is need for you to understand yourself and build according to your own strength. In the context of leadership, the word strength has several meanings, but for the purpose of this video, I'd like to bring your thoughts to the meaning of strength, particularly structure. Now, there are times when it would seem like you could use some strength. In those times, what do you do? How do you go about achieving strength? You know, I said I'd like to bring your thoughts back to the meaning of strength in leadership, and it's called structure. Until you build structure into your organization, your organization is not worthy of note. There's nothing worthy of note in it until you build structure into it. Structure in an organization is the driving force behind every accomplishment. Just imagine that your sales team don't have anyone to report. How can their work be measured? The metrics by which work can be measured is as a result of the organizational goals, which is a function of structure. Unless there is structure, there is no point doing what you're doing. There's no point at all. If you're just in a haste to run off to start something new, start a new day, start a new year, and there is no structure built already upon which what you're planning to build can stand on, there's no point doing it at all. It would be better for you that you took your time to build a structure first before building upon the structure. Imagine a house. If there is no foundation, there is no point building a house. The foundation is the first structure upon which the house has to stand on. Then there are frames, pillars, upon which the house has to stand on. So without a foundation, without pillars and all of these things, that house is bound to fall. Let me tell you the story of two young men who decided to build a structure in their relationship. They had a common goal, and the goal was to make one of them to become the king. These two friends wanted the same thing for one of them, even though the other friend was in sight of it already, but he didn't want it. He wanted it for his friend. It's the story of David and Jonathan, and how Jonathan helped David to become the king of Israel. Despite all attempts of King Saul to destroy David, Jonathan helped him find sustaining structure. If you read 1 Samuel 23 verse 16 and 17, you will find these words. And Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh, and he helped him find strength in God. Verse 17 said, "Don't be afraid," he said. "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You will be king and I will be second to you. Even my father knows this." Now when he said, "My father will not lay a hand on you," that's very definite if you ask me. How could a young man say those words? It must only mean that he had a plan and was about to build a structure to ensure that the words which he had spoken will stand. He said, "My father will not lay a hand on you." As I read further, I found out the structure that infused David with so much strength. The people of Ziph had gone down to King Saul and had said to him, "Come to us and we will deliver David to you, because he's living among us." However, when King Saul came in search of David, someone even among the people went and told David, and he moved, thus fulfilling the words that Jonathan had said, "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you." Now David, as you know, is a mighty man of valor, a mighty man of war. But there comes a time in a man's life when he has to find strength. Do you have the structure around you? Do you have the people who can infuse strength into you? Do you have the people around you? Do you have reliable people that you can trust in your organization, who will hold your hands when it seems as though your strength is failing? I'm Dr. Zoma, and this is Soar Up. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button. And please share this video with as many friends of yours as possible. Till I see you again. Peace.